Too angry to cry, she tried to put the entire conversation out of her head. So far, she hadn't had much luck. She pushed thoughts of Ryan away again now as Nick looked at her with his pleading, dark blue eyes. Those eyes and thick, dark hair, so like her own, were a genetic trait from the McGrady side of the family. Jennie, Nick, Jennie's dad, Jason, his twin sister, Kate, and Graham all had similar features. Of course, Graham's hair was now mostly gray. Setting Nick on the floor, she tried one more time. "Nick, I need to study. And I think I hear Bernie calling you." Nick listened intently. "I don't hear him." Bernie was Nick's St. Bernard puppy. Though as big as the dog had gotten over the summer, the puppy part didn't do him justice. "That's because you're not listening with your heart," Jennie explained. "Trust me, Bernie wants you to play with him." "He always knocks me down. You come play too." "I can't. I have homework. Then I have to get ready to go with Lisa." Jennie glanced at the clock. Lisa Calhoun, her cousin and best friend, would be calling any minute and wanting to leave. Unfortunately, Jennie wasn't anywhere near ready. "Where you going?" Nick wriggled off her lap, looking as if he were about to cry. "Lisa and I are spending the weekend with Megan." "At the mink farm?" He jumped up and down. "I want to go too. Can I go? I want to see the baby minks." "Not this time." "I'm going to ask Mommy. She'll make you take me." "Good idea." Jennie grinned at his departing figure, got up, and closed her bedroom door. Mom would say no, of course. With any luck at all, she'd distract him with a story. The weekend away was Jennie's reward for putting in all the extra hours working around the house the last few weeks. Back at her computer, she tried concentrating on her report, but part of her brain stayed focused on the weekend and on what Ryan had said about Scott. If Scott wanted to talk to her, why send a letter to Graham? Why not message her on Facebook? Speaking of which, Jennie put Scott's name up on the Facebook page, hoping to get a hit. She didn't. She typed his name into the Google search engine and came up with a couple of articles in which he'd been mentioned, but no phone number or internet connection. After a few more minutes of searching, she went back to work. Looking forward to the outing and wondering why Scott had called kept Jennie from feeling too depressed about Ryan. She sighed and forced herself to concentrate on her project, writing about the effects of pollution on rivers and streams and how fish and wildlife are affected by human carelessness. Deformed fish were showing up in some of the local rivers, not a good sign. As Jennie worked, Scott Chambers slipped into her mind again. After managing to write 2 pages, she gave up and moved to her window seat. Images of Florida and Scott became too strong to ignore. Jennie remembered their first meeting and how she'd thought him arrogant and overly committed to his animal rights activist group, the Dolphin Protection Agency. He'd been on a Save the Dolphins kick and practically accused her of being a dolphin killer because she and Graham were going to see the dolphins and sea lions perform at Dolphin Playland. Even in those first stormy moments, though, she'd felt a certain attraction to him. After he learned that Graham was researching and writing articles on the subject, he warmed considerably, and over the course of 2 weeks, Jennie and Scott had become good friends. Jennie's heart still fluttered at the thought of his intense sea-green gaze boring into hers during their first meeting. He had a killer smile and loved to tease her. She admired his determination to save the dolphins, but worried about his overzealous attitude. Jennie loved dolphins too, and planned to do what she could. On the other hand, it was Scott who piqued her interest in environmental issues, which had led her to concentrate on term papers like Dolphins in Our Midst, Cigarette Butts and Their Impact on Marine Life, and Acid Rain. Why had Scott been trying to call her? Had he come out west to go to school? He'd mentioned coming to the area to study marine biology. She mentally kicked herself for not getting Scott's number from Ryan. No way am I going to call him back now. Jennie sighed. Graham was due home in another week. "You'll find out soon enough," she told